back. It's Sonia G. It's a Tuesday night live for the Moon Babes. I am so excited to be here. We're trying this again. The Wi-Fi just completely dropped us. So here we are. We are going to talk about the LionsGate and the downloads that are coming in. And we're going to talk about Goddess and Gods on Mission because it starts tomorrow. And I'm so excited for all of you. Birthing desires, experiences, alignment, missions, and purposes on this planet on a whole new level. So let's talk about the LionsGate. And let's talk about the things that are coming in. So there's a portal, the LionsGate, that's coming in. That is, what is the LionsGate? The LionsGate is Sirius getting in alignment with the sun and bringing in all of these codes of ancient knowledge, okay, that we're bringing into the future. And during this is why this like ancient, like we are the ancient ones, we're birthing the future. This is all kind of like information that's coming in about this ancient future. Like we come from the future, but we're the ancient ones. And it kind of gets like confusing. We're the masters of light incarnate on planet Earth, right? So what's really happening is we are receiving codes that activate layers of understanding and knowledge inside of ourselves that we get to transduce, meaning we get to hold and we get to beam, we get to emit in order to then birth and code together the understandings of these higher levels of frequency on Earth. Okay, these higher spheres of functioning, higher spheres of consciousness, we get to birth them by activating the knowledge and then birthing it inside of us, holding the frequency, being the light, right? And then activating it, not only like we get to integrate, activate it, hold it, integrate it inside of us, bring it to the earth, activate it inside the earth, make it available for the people that are ready to have that available. It's a process that doesn't make any logical sense, but there's actually really like solid words to it. And you know, if it goes through you and you know that there's a lot of information that's coming in, the thing is we have to translate it. It's our job to fucking make sense of it, okay? So this is our job, to not leave it like etheric knowledge. So this is the challenge, should you choose to accept it, is the fact that you'll grab these codes and you're just like, right? Like, oh my gosh. But then it's like, what is it really? What do I do with them? Okay, what am I gonna do with these codes? Like, codes are light knowledge, they're information, they're teachings. So once you hold them inside of you, sometimes they come in different forms. They come in like symbols, they come in light language, they come in light codes, they come in like, you know, sometimes they come in sequences of colors and sounds. Like they can come in all sorts of different ways. They come in the way that you are actually ready to like receive, okay? Once they come to you, you have to find inside of you the knowledge to match it. Like you have to find the layers of you to come and like sustain, support, hold, make it safe to birth this knowledge inside and then create it and birth it to the worlds, okay? This is the process. Obviously, I teach courses around these things. Like, it's not an easy thing, but this is how you do it, okay? So it doesn't mean you have to do it my way. You can do it anyway, but this is what we're doing. And so it's our job not to just talk about light codes and downloads as like, you know, like etheric, distant things that happen over here. It's our job to integrate them and birth them into our reality. So it's new ways of existence. So if it's new ways of existence, new ways of operations, new ways of living life on planet Earth, that means that we can't continue to be the people that we were, right? We have new information on how to function in different higher levels of reality, which means we get to be the ones that operate differently and that start different ways of being on planet Earth. Does that make sense? Like, this is why we go and download. This is why we go and get that in that kind of information, and then we make it available. Do you need divine masculine instructors at your temple? I am good, but thank you for asking. I don't really have instructors. It's really me. Yeah, we do fun events though, and I do bring people in, but thank you for asking. We were talking about the divine masculine coming in and everything else tonight. Okay. Let me see what questions are coming in. These couple of days, I've been having visions of the same visions I had when I was a child about time travel, and this is all a simulation. Yeah, it's not, okay, let's clear that up. It's not a simulation. It's an experience that we created, and a part of us is here experiencing it, okay? So it's kind of like saying school is a simulation. Like when you send your children to school, or like not even, school is not really appropriate. But if you send your children to learn a sport, okay, and it's a learning, it's a camp, it's a tennis camp, let's just say. They're going to go to a tennis camp, and you're like, oh, that camp is just a simulation, because then I want them to learn and to practice and, you know, be in these like professional tournaments. Well, yeah, you are creating the experience for them, so you're going to create a simulation so that then they can go to the pros, right? You have to start somewhere. So it's the same thing that's happening to us. Does not discount our reality and what we're doing here. We get to complete this experience. You can call it whatever you want. I feel like when people call it a simulation, it feels like it's not important, and it feels like it's fake, or it feels like it doesn't matter. And in fact, why would we be here if it didn't matter? How can you possibly believe that you're a master of light and you're someone special and important, and then you're in a simulation experience that's like at some, you know, I don't know, in some remote corner of the universe that doesn't really make any sense. Like that is, do you see what I mean? Like these words are words that are utilized, I believe, to make people feel like they're not worthy or they're not important, when instead it's the opposite, okay? So the reason why we birthed this reality, meaning like why we created it and it became physical, because anything that we create, go to God, go to the founders, go to the knowledge of the creator of all of that is, okay, at the very top of this whole entire universe where it was created, okay, from that spot, wherever that was, at the oneness, okay, which everybody understands. So when you go to the oneness, you understand that there's a part of you that is connected to the source consciousness. The part of you that's created to the source consciousness decided to create an experience. Sorry, my doorbell is telling me that there's people at the front door. This part of you decided to create an experience that then you could also live. Because when you're one, when you're all one, it gets really fucking boring, okay? And this is the truth of it. As a little kid, I used to say this stuff all the time when my parents would tell me, oh, we're going to live happily ever after in eternity, because they switched religion to this religion where it's like, oh, once you're done with this lifetime, you get to like live happily in eternity and perfectness. And I would always tell them, it's so boring. Do you know when things are like so perfect in your life, it never stays that way for very long. Why? Because it's in our nature to grow. We want to experience things, right? Like, so if you see yourself in a perfect picture, in a perfect moment, how long do you really stay in it once it happens? And I know that not very many people get to experience this in real life, but once you actually are in the perfect place, right? Like say you're in a boat, sailing the seas, oh, dream, you know what I mean? Like after a while, you're like, I'm ready for new experiences, okay? And this is just the nature of who we are, because everything in the universe constantly wants to expand, experience, and grow. So at the level of oneness, it's like, oh, oneness wants to experience itself. So therefore creates an experience, a mirror experience, 1D, 2D, okay? Then from 2D, it's like, oh my gosh, I am this thing. I have an awareness of who I am. There is now a mirror. This is where the whole divine mirror comes from, okay? Like there is now a mirror of who I am. I am like this thing that I see over here. I get to have a witness. Holy shit, this is. Well, shit, now that I know who I am, I want an experience. The experience is 3D. The experience is this world. The experience is a 3D reality where then you have to have players. Okay, well, now that you have 3D, now that you have an experience of physical reality, how are you going to figure that out? Like, this is a very elaborate situation. There are galaxies and like many councils that were involved in the creation of this particular reality, right? Once you start to awaken and you start to go through, not awaken, once you start to go through your ascension journey, so you're awakened, okay? You understand that you're here having an experience to ascend the planet, that you have to remember who you are, that all the knowledge is inside of you, that you have to recover the library of knowledge, that you have to integrate all these layers of who you are, that nothing of what you've been told is true, and you go through the rabbit holes and you're like, oh my God, now I get to create my own reality. I'm responsible for myself. Cycles of time, karma, higher selves, holy fuck, shadow work, right? You go through all of these things and then all of a sudden you're like, shit, I created this reality, okay? That's at the top of it. And you're just like, oh, now I get to like rebirth myself through all these cycles because now we got twisted in karma. We sent our own players in this game of reality, meaning we sent ourselves in here. And because we need to unravel what's happened in this reality because it got very complex because several layers of different consciousness in the universe got mixed in what's happening on the planet. That's why it's so complex. It's now like a super complex like chess game. But the point is, we're here on purpose and we're here for a reason. So when you're having visions and you're experiencing deja vus and you're starting to understand that this is all part of like a very morphogenic field, then you know you're in charge. Then you know you can break out of it. Then you know that you are here to break through barriers of reality, that you get to bring in new ones. You are the one that gets to create them. So it's not so much our job to say, this is bullshit, this is like old stuff, this is like realities that don't need to exist anymore, right? We're here, it's all simulated. Our job is to create the next step. Our job is to create the alternate. Our job is to hold the coding, the knowledge, the experiences, the information, and the infrastructures inside of us that we manifest on the outside to lay foundations for new realities. We are the builders of this reality. We are the builders of the new reality. We get to build it. Okay, so we get to be here and actually birth this stuff. So when we're having days where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. Well, fuck yeah, it wasn't going to be easy. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, okay. And we still get to do the things, right? And then it's like all the dramas and all of these, there was oh my gosh, what show did I watch? It was a very short sequence. Maybe it was on Prime. Maybe it was on Netflix. I hardly ever watch TV, but when I had like my teeth done, I was like, okay, I want to find a show. I think it was called Uploaded, maybe, or something like that. Anyways, I'm going to tell you what it is. If anybody knows, like, tell me. So it was a 1-season situation. So it was a few episodes, and their whole thing was they figured out in the not so distant future, they figured out how to upload human consciousness right before death so that they would upload it into a simulator. And the simulator would be like, according to how much you paid on Earth, they would keep you alive in a simulation, okay, in a computerized simulation, and then you would get to continue life. And whether you continue to live it in, you know, a conditions of like, you know, poverty or in conditions of you know, super affluent, super rich realities, it just depended on what you could afford because programming would have to go and, you know, programming would have to sustain it. Okay. So, I was so intrigued by that show. I wish it continued. Yeah. Okay. So if you guys have this, I think it's called, do you know Love Light Therapy? Do you know what it's called? I think it's called, Uploaded. I want to say it's called Uploaded. I don't know. Somebody tell us if you know. But it was either, I mean, it's very easy. It's either on Netflix or it's on Prime because those are the only two things. So somewhere on there. So, they would get uploaded. And where was I going with this? Oh, so in this perfect place, so this guy gets to be uploaded, okay, to this very perfect reality. And he was one of the people that lucked out. His girlfriend was very rich. This is this show. His girlfriend's very rich. So she's like, oh my God, go upload to my family's condo reality afterlife situation. So he goes to the rich people's afterlife. Okay. Like, this is the show. But this is what happened. In this place, there were people, everything was so perfect, and everything was just every day you would wake up to the perfect food, to the perfect day, to the perfect sunshine, to the perfect golf course, to the perfect experience, right? Like you would wake up to the perfect reality, and people would end up paying, like this is over the course of the show. Hi, honey. Henry joined. Hi, babe. So the people in the uploaded reality would actually pay for a sickness, right? Like, so this new guy gets uploaded and he's like, dude, why are you having a cold? Like, this is like a virtual reality. Like, you can be perfectly healthy. Like, why are you having a cold? Is this like a malfunction in the code? And the guy's like, oh no, I paid for every sneeze. And he was just like, I'm bored, right? Like, he was basically saying, like, I want an experience. I can't remember what it feels like to feel like you have a cold. So I'm paying for a cold and I'm paying for every sneeze. My point, okay? When everything is perfect and after you've reached this like place of beingness in perfect harmony, you want new experiences. So you're going to pay for a rainstorm, you're pay for a cold because you want an experience. This is why we're here. We're here for an experience. We just got tangled. We got tangled through layers of reality, through lifetimes, and through wanting to, through forgetting the knowledge every time we reincarnate. So yeah, there he is. You guys know Henry is Red Art Technologies here on Instagram. I love you too, babe. And Henry and I are a perfect example. And we have like several lifetimes where we like intertwined and we untangled. And once you understand and you start to like dig through these things, right? You're like, oh, and this time you played this and then this person, whatever. Like we played different roles through time and space and, like lifetimes here on earth, really. And so then you untangle the karma, and then you become the bearer of the new codes of reality, and you get to birth these new ways of living, these realities where like everybody wins. And we're just, we're clearing the distortions that have happened on the planet. So that's the thing. So when we are downloading information, at first, we don't know, right? We just get these influxes of knowledge. And if you guys could see it, because this happens in a lot of like one-on-ones or in a lot of sessions that I do, okay? Literally to me, because this is part of my gifts, doesn't mean that everybody sees it like this. But like when some of you guys will download and then things will be like here and they get like deposited at your crown chakra and they look like this like visual knowledge. And a lot of times I can actually tap into it and tell you what it is. That's not saying I am the one to give you the answers. I want to teach you guys how to access this stuff, okay? Because the most important thing that I could ever teach you is how to do these things for yourself and be self-sufficient, not to say, come to me and I have the answer. That doesn't serve anybody. So the thing is, you'll have these things that want to come in here. And as soon as you make room for them in your physical body, they will enter. Okay, there are teachings. And sometimes this is why you have massive fucking headaches. And it's like, oh my gosh, I feel like somebody's pounding on my brain, or like whatever. And it's like, everything is on fire. Sometimes it gets to a point where you're downloading, you need like ice packs on your head. Like it took me a minute to figure that out, like back in the days. And so it's like, this is when information wants to come in because it wants to come into the physical body, but you have to learn to like house it. You have to learn to bring it in and to translate it because it comes in, it's like codes. Okay, so it's like you have to learn to code your reality. And so the codes come in here and then you have to learn to like bring them in and process them in a way that's healthy, that works for you, that is supportive, right? And then you get these ideas, you get this knowledge, and then you get to put words to it. So all of a sudden you have a sequence of words or sequence of codes, and then you have to like translate them, and then you put words to them, and then you birth things, okay? And then you create things. It's so funny. We actually talked about this stuff in source code tonight, which by the way is one of my favorite things on the planet. Of course it is, because it's my newest course. All my courses are like my children. They're my babies. I make course children. I make babies of knowledge. So So we'll probably run it again soon, because that was like a lot of things at the edge of what I know, which is really fun to teach. So very cool. What I want to tell you is this. You will learn to translate these things, whether you do it because you're stubborn and you do it by practice, okay? So you stay with it and you figure out a way and you like bonk your head against the wall until you get it right, or you get a teacher, you get a mentor, right? One way, and like you fast forward through the steps. One way or another is gonna happen because you're so signed up for it, because you are part of the very creation group, right? The majority of you here, this is not everybody on the planet, okay? But there's quite a few people that have landed on planet Earth, meaning like they incarnated through physical body, which is us, on planet Earth. We came to change the stories. We came to break through the chains. We came to completely recode the genetics of our existence. We came to birth, the superhuman consciousness, basically. And we came to like ascend the planet with Gaia, with the consciousness that is Mother Earth, okay? Against all of, the odds and the other people. There's a ton of people that are here for the first time. They are not the masters of light. They don't give a shit if the planet ascends or not. They're just here to like have, a good experience of life. That's their job. We have a different job. We're a different department in the cosmos. We are a different galactic department, okay? So not everybody has this call, which is the reason why we don't judge the people. Everybody gets to like have their purpose. It's, it's like the cycle of the things in creation. So do your work, however you feel called to it, okay? And get to where you want to go. Decide where you want to go and then figure out the path. That's all I do. I've just like, I have been, because I'm a double Virgo, because I was born with I was born with several challenges to my health that in time and in growth have turned into my greatest strength. So now I figured out how to utilize them, right? And they've become my greatest gifts. And so I now use these things to track energy, to hold frequency, to be able to see things, to know things, right? All of these abilities have come in that I had to work really hard to figure out. And then now I've put these processes that I do into form and into, tangible, like, bullet points. This is how we do this. This is how we do this. This is how we do this. So you can do it too, whether you learn from me or not. The point is that we are here to birth through new realities, however you do it. So figure out what your process is and then do the thing, because we're here. And the information is coming in hot. The information is coming in hot. So don't waste it. Like I say this often, like don't pee out your light codes. Like if you don't learn to hold them and integrate them, they're gonna come in and you're gonna pee them right out, right? Like it's like the nutrients that just go through your body. You activated it, but you didn't integrate it. So now you have to learn it again, right? So now you're gonna have to go download it again to like hold it or whatever. Sometimes you don't have to download it again, but like you basically, until you integrate it, it's not a part of you. It's just a part of you for a fleeting moment. So you can like manifest a thing real quick in the now and then it goes away. And then you're like, damn it, why can I not do it again? It didn't integrate. So you have to practice to integrate, okay? It's not just about activating, it's also integrating, okay? That's exactly how I feel too, yeah. Virgos, yes, Virgos, I'm a double Virgo. So like there's a lot of grounding, right? There's a lot of grounding that happens. It's a gift that happens. So, well, that I claimed. I guess that happened to me, but I claimed. And I have to tell you guys too, that translating, like learning how to you guys know English is my second language. My very first language is Italian. And I hate translating. There's not very many things that I say that word about. Oh my gosh, translating is so painful for me. Like I even told Henry last time we went to Italy, I was like, babe, I need you to learn Italian. I can't constantly ping pong and translate all the time. I want to be able to just enjoy listening or like talking or whatever. So like I have a thing. There's not very many things I feel that strongly about. But because it's hard for me because I'm ADHD. Do you know how much brain power it takes for me to translate, So I have to really focus, and it means that I'm like doing this, which means I can't, be aware of all the other things I want to be aware of, or really, be in the experience of what's happening, because translating means that you're taking this in and saying this out, right? So it's kind of like that. Well, as hard as it was for me, ADHD and dyslexic, to translate, because I had to, because none of my family speaks English. So anytime I need, like, they're over here, or any of my friends, or, you know, like if Henry comes over there, like I have to translate because nobody speaks the other language. I don't have to. Google is now starting to, but, and people are learning to communicate anyways. But okay, point is, that was very frustrating for me. And then I realized that now it's one of my superpowers, right? It's one of my skills. I can translate energy because I am so used to taking all this energy over here and having to hyper focus, because it's so hard for me, ADHD and dyslexic, to like take these words and make sense of them and reorganize them and like spit them into another language over here. Now I can do it when it comes to, you know, and people say it, people watch me translate and they're like, oh, it's so easy for you. And I'm like, fuck you. You don't even know. Like, you don't know how hard this shit is. I may make it look easy, but I've been doing it for 20 years now, you know, but like, it's the same thing. So energy comes in, and now I can just translate what I see in the astral plane. I can translate the energy. And so it's just, that's what it is. But like, it took me forever of practicing this stuff. So the gifts come to those who practice. The magic comes to those that, you know, stay consistent with it. It's never like an overnight thing. You can download the information, but then you have to practice it. You have to teach your reality that that's how it works now, right? So there's ways that you get to actually like make your way. It's never like this. And the people that tell you it's like this, they're either doing the work behind the scenes and not telling you that they're doing the work, or they do it one time and then it goes away. And then everything is just based on that one time, right? But you will know the people that are doing it for real because they're consistent and they're staying with it and they're not one-hit wonders, right? Like, they don't just do like one retreat and they like price it really high and then they go away, or they just don't do one course that they tell you that they have all the answers and then they go away and then you don't hear from them anymore on social media. Like, they don't, do you see what I'm saying? Like, they're the people that are consistent, and you build it and you hold it and you integrate it, right? And those are just like examples of things that I see, or people like launch things and they launch courses and masterminds, but they don't actually have like, they haven't integrated the teachings. If you don't integrate the teachings in your life, you're not going to be able to hold a consciousness for a course, for a group. The universe is not going to trust you with that because you don't have the actual teachings integrated. You may know them, maybe you learn them, but you have to integrate them. Okay, so it always comes down to doing the work. Period, the end. It's not one way. That's why I'm saying one way or another, you got to do it, right? Doesn't mean that has to be my way, but you know, there's many ways of doing it. So find your way and then do the thing. And then if you want to do the thing with me, and if you want to learn how I did the thing and how I figured it all out, that's Goddess and Gods on Mission, which starts tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow is the welcome call. So tomorrow it's starting, it's the kickoff moment. Tomorrow is where the modules start. We're going to have a live meeting with this course in a week, okay? So tomorrow the course begins. You get in, you get the discount. If it calls you, Goddess and Gods on Mission is the course for the spiritual entrepreneurs on the rise, creating their path, shifting realities, switching gears. This is a course that teaches you how to dig deeper and figure out your purpose, your mission, what you came to do, feel empowered around your purpose, and how to find that fire, that passion, right? Like the thing that you feel from me, I teach you how to get there, okay? So the first part of the course is the soul work, this part. Figure out what you came on the planet to do. The second part of the course is what I call the biz and tech part. So it's the business and technological part. If you know what you came on the planet to do, but you don't know how to put it into form, you're like, hey, I'm really good at this. How do I create an offering out of it? How do I actually put it into form? How do I teach the things that I came to teach and put them onto paper or a structure or a website? That's the part of the course for you, okay? So that's where we figure out, how do you put together your offerings? How do you take people from A to Z? What kind of, experience do you want to create? What kind of things do you want to offer? What URL do you buy? Do you buy a URL? Do you need it? What website do you buy? What are your colors? What is your logo? What is your brand? Do you have a tagline? And we actually figure all that out, okay? So we actually create the taglines, we figure out the colors, we figure out your social media, we clean up all of that kind of stuff. And we have an update on that this year, so I'm really excited about it. So that's what we do, okay? This works whether you already have a business and you want to like upgrade, right? Like motivation, empowerment, next level it. You want to learn how to hold the codes to higher levels of income. You want to actually make money and be successful with it, okay? That's the course. That's the information. And so if you want to actually take it to that level and figure out how I did what I did and how I'm here, right? Continuing to be here, continuing to teach the things, I put it into a structure. And the reason why I put it into a structure is because I took so many courses and I was like, this is not it, right? People that like talk, there's a lot of courses out there that tell you how to create content online, but they sure as shit don't talk about like integrating your God self and higher self and layers of your existence and how to download codes and then create a course, right? So I didn't relate to them. They were like courses that were talking about numbers and structures that didn't make any sense to me. So I had to figure out how to do this in a light worker way where it was like, it had to make sense from a place of, no, this gets to be in the flow. This gets to be in alignment. This is not push. This is not, you have to have this. So it's not like, these many people have to be on your, list. These many people have to be on this and you have to engage the algorithm. None of that. There's no have to. What I figured out is that it all is a function of your beliefs. We create the structures of our own reality. So in Goddess and God's on Mission, I teach you how to restructure the rules of your reality so that it works the way that you want it to work. So it's not my cookie cutter way. I teach you how to make your way through the course, which is really cool, right? Because one way is never the way. So if I told you do this and this and this, it doesn't work. That's why it doesn't work. When people tell you like, oh, here's 1, 2, 3, generally it doesn't work for everybody because people are different. We all have different blueprints. But if I can figure out, and if I can teach you, if I can figure out how to unlock the mechanisms that work for you, and then all of a sudden you're like, ding, right? And now you can go and shine and beam and like teach the planet and you know how to do it. Then you're unstoppable because you know how to do it. It's not just a one-time thing that worked because you were in the energy of the course. It's a long-term plan that now creates the business and the structures of your life and the motivation that you want. And this course is actually one of those courses that I love to hear. Like I receive feedback back and it's like, oh my gosh, my world changed so much after doing this course, because literally it's like recreating your reality. It's shifting all of the beliefs. We talk about money. We talk about like how to hold, right? The vibration of money. It's like this is the baseline to the money rehab. So money rehab is like how to like literally do all of your core healing, which these two go together. So there's actually a double up that's available between the two courses, where you actually have all of the foundation. You understand how to reorganize your beliefs, right? Restructure your reality, do all of that. And then in money rehab, you learn how to incrementally increase, hold, increase, build the wealth. And so it all goes together, right? Obviously, it's a course that's just on money, while in Goddess and God's on Mission, there's 2 modules that are specifically about beliefs and money and reorganizing reality, okay? And then the whole course is about purpose, mission, like motivation, understanding it. We use astrology, we use numerology in the course to figure out different things. So there's lots of different ways that we get into. We use regression therapy. So we use lots of different skills to help you figure out purpose, path, and mission, okay? And it's a very, it's a course where I think it's the most interactive workbook, where literally like there's different things. So there's space for you to like write things out. And then there's like, whether it's like numbers or sequences of things, and then you add things up and then you add things. So we really dive deep using lots of different methods and lots of different ways to get to where we want to go. So it's kind of cool. And I love it because you're going to get, no matter what, you're going to get there. And it's like, holy shit, this makes sense. So it's really, really awesome. So yay. Yes, teach a man to fish and he'll eat every day. Thank you. That's exactly it. So that's the thing. It's like, I teach you how to fish. Thank you for saying it in the best way that I could have said it. So that then you can go and do it, right? And you understand how it doesn't have to be complicated. Success is not complicated. Success is just doing what works, right? But what works is not the same for everybody. So you have to figure out what works for you. And once you know how to structure it, and once you know how to do it, and then you have support through it, boom, you can't fail. Success. Doing what works. It's amazing. Yay. So any and all of you that want to jump in, I'm so excited. Okay, so the welcome call opens tomorrow. The welcome module opens tomorrow. And then, so jump in tonight. I should probably send you an email. I haven't even sent you an email because we've had like so many things happening with this LionsGate. But I'm so excited for everyone that's registered, for everybody that's jumping in, for everybody that's feeling like, okay, it's time to like level up. And whether it's leveling up in your current business, whether it's leveling up in like your corporate job too, whether it's leveling up in the job that you're currently doing, but you just want to put more passion and like actually align with your purpose and your soul through it, then take a look. Okay, you'll know. Look at the course. It's moonbabetribe.com. Click on Goddess and Gods on Mission, otherwise known as GOM. And look through it. We have like ridiculous bonuses too in there. You get to go to Venus. So I don't know any other course that takes you through like making money and also takes you to Venus and takes you to Sirius. And there's like magical, all sorts of processes to really get you, right, for light workers. So to really get you in the feeling of those things and to anchor them in. We use all the tools to make the things happen. We are here for a mission and a purpose. We're doing this. So take a look and trust yourself to feel it, right? If you don't get an answer from me right away, I know you guys are like last minuters because I know I attract that because that's how I am. So if you don't end up asking me a question in time to get an answer, but you kind of feel like it's for you, right? Like just trust your gut on it. Trust your instincts on it usually. And if it's a little scary, generally that's right. I feel like you guys know this by now, right? Like you know that you're on path when it kind of has that feeling. So yay. Yes, Nick. I'm excited, Nick, to have you going through like this course. You're going to do amazing things. Yay. I'm excited for all those of you that are joining. Let me know if you have questions. I love you. It's Sonia G. This was a Moon Babes Tuesday Night Live, and I'm excited for all of the things ahead. You can find me here on Instagram every week at Moon Babes and the Light Tribe. And I love you. Goddess and Gods on Mission. I'm going to extend the deal so you have time to look at it. I think it was meant to go through tonight, but I really hadn't had time to talk about it. So let's extend it through tomorrow night. Okay, so we're going to... I'm like, I'm going to get off this live and then tell Kelsey, we're changing the deal. We're going to keep the price still open until tomorrow night. So go and register. Let me know if you have questions. We just bought ourselves some more time. I love you and I will see you soon. Bye, loves.